From the moment a creature opens its eyes, it is greeted by a world teeming with sights, sounds, and sensations. This initial encounter is the beginning of a lifelong journey of discovery and interaction with the environment. This is the first-person perspective, a fundamental aspect of animal existence. It shapes how they perceive and respond to the world around them, influencing their behavior and survival strategies. Every creature, from the tiniest insect to the largest whale, experiences the world from this unique vantage point. Each species has evolved to experience their surrounding from a first-person perspective with varying degrees of sophistication. It is a world seen through their own eyes, heard with their own ears, and felt with their own senses. This sensory input is crucial for their survival, guiding them in finding food, shelter, and mates. Throughout the eons, evolution has crafted this first-person view. The ability to perceive the environment accurately has been honed over millions of years, resulting in a diverse array of sensory adaptations. It is a powerful adaptation, allowing animals to navigate their surroundings, find food, and evade predators. This constant interaction with their environment is a dynamic process, some reflexive and some viewed in this first-person perspective. This immersive experience is not merely a passive observation of the world, it is an active engagement with it. Animals are constantly making decisions based on the information they gather through their senses. The rustling of leaves, the scent of prey, the warmth of the sun, all are woven into the fabric of their being. These sensory experiences are integral to their daily lives, influencing their actions and interactions. This first-person perspective is so ingrained in the animal experience that we often take it for granted. For humans, as possibly for most animals, this first-person perspective or self-awareness makes us believe that we are in control of the thoughts and actions we take. Yet, it is a profound testament to the power of the brain's ability to construct a reality from a first-person point of view that this first-person viewpoint may not be the controlling part of the brain. It is a testament to the enduring drive of life to sense, to experience, and to thrive in a world brimming with challenges and opportunities. Perhaps this self-awareness is not the driving force we think it is. This perspective is window into the world, is the foundation upon which the tapestry of consciousness is woven, but it may be just a window. Not the real mechanism that allows animals to experience their lives, shaping their behaviors, interactions, and ultimately their destinies. Consciousness, often shrouded in mystery, can be simply understood as the experience of this first-person perspective. It is the feeling of being present, of witnessing the world unfold through our own senses. This experience, however, does not necessitate complex thought or self-awareness. Even the simplest of creatures, lacking the cognitive capacity for introspection, possess this fundamental consciousness. Imagine a bee, buzzing from flower to flower, drawn by the allure of nectar. It sees the vibrant colors of the petals, smells the sweet aroma, and feels the gentle caress of the wind. This bee, though lacking the intellectual prowess of humans, is nonetheless conscious, or has this ability to perceive from a first person. It experiences the world, navigates its surroundings, and interacts with its environment, all through the lens of its own first-person perspective. Consciousness, in its essence, is this experience of being. It is the feeling of life itself experienced from the first person, flowing through every creature, large and small. Conscious is not the ability to perceive, to sense, and to react to the world around us. It is the window through which things are perceived. While miraculous in its ability, it is just a simple evolved mechanism that allows the sensing of the brain's intricate machinations in the first person. This first-person perspective and the consciousness it engenders is not unique to humans. It's a universal language spoken by all creatures with a central nervous system. A gazelle fleeing a lion, a bird building its nest, a fish navigating a coral reef. They all experience the world from this inherent viewpoint. Their realities are shaped by their senses, their instincts, and their interactions with their surroundings, all then switched within the brain to the first person as a mental construct. While we may never fully comprehend the subjective experience of another species, we can observe their behavior and recognize some unmistakable signs of consciousness. A chimpanzee using tools to extract termites from a mound, an octopus camouflaging itself against the ocean floor, a dog wagging its tail in delight. These actions speak volumes about their internal world, where their brain has taken all the senses and actions and converted them to a simple first-person construct. This shared first-person perspective underscores the interconnectedness of all living things. It reminds us that we are not alone in our capacity to be aware. Every creature in its own unique way contributes to the grand symphony of consciousness that echoes throughout the natural world. Turning to the illusion of choice. We often perceive our conscious mind as the driver of our actions, making deliberate choices and steering the course of our lives. This belief is deeply ingrained in our understanding of self and autonomy. We like to think that every decision we make, from the mundane to the monumental, is a product of our conscious deliberation and free will. However, recent scientific discoveries have challenged this deeply held belief, revealing a more complex and perhaps unsettling reality. Researchers have delved into the intricacies of the human brain, uncovering evidence that suggests our conscious mind might not be as in control as we once thought. The concept of readiness potential suggests that our brains initiate actions before we are even consciously aware of making a decision. This phenomenon was first identified in the 1960s by neuroscientist Hans Helmut Kornhuber and his colleague Luda Dieker, who discovered that a specific type of brain activity precedes voluntary movements. Studies have shown that electrical activity builds up in the brain milliseconds before a conscious decision is reported. This build-up, known as the readiness potential, indicates that the brain is preparing for action and perhaps taking action even before we become aware of our intention to act. This preconscious activity, known as the readiness potential, implies that our conscious mind is not the initiator of action, but rather the receiver of a decision already made. It suggests that the brain has already set the wheels in motion before we even realize we are making a choice. It's as if our conscious mind is merely observing a choice being made rather than actively making it. This realization can be quite disconcerting, as it challenges the very notion of free will and personal agency. This raises profound questions about the nature of free will. Philosophers and scientists alike have long debated whether free will is an illusion or a genuine aspect of human experience. The discovery of readiness potential adds a new layer to this debate, suggesting that although we may still have free will in the brain, it is not a conscious decision. We do not have conscious free will. If our conscious mind is not the ultimate decision maker, then what role does it play? Is it merely a passive observer? Or does it have some influence over the decisions that are made? These questions remain at the forefront of ongoing research in neuroscience and psychology. Are we merely passengers in our own bodies, witnessing the unfolding of decisions made by an unconscious force within us? This perspective can be both fascinating and unsettling, as it challenges our understanding of self and autonomy. While the debate on free will continues to rage on, the discovery of readiness potential has undoubtedly shaken the foundations of our understanding of consciousness and the nature of choice. It invites us to reconsider what it means to be human and to explore the depths of our own minds in search of answers. Let's look at the possible mind's machinery. To grasp the implications of readiness potential and the illusion of conscious free will, it's helpful to draw an analogy with a familiar object, the desktop computer. This comparison allows us to break down the complex processes of the brain into more understandable components. Imagine our brain as the intricate hardware and software of the computer, tirelessly processing information and executing tasks. Just as a computer's motherboard and circuits work together to perform various functions, our brain's neurons and synapses collaborate to manage our thoughts, actions, and reactions. Within this complex system, consciousness can be likened to the monitor displaying the output of the brain's operations. The monitor shows us the end result of countless calculations and processes happening behind the scenes, much like how our consciousness presents the final decisions and thoughts formed by our brain. Imagine also the difference in sophistication of computers can explain different levels of consciousness between animals. Just as the monitor doesn't control the computer's actions but merely reflects them, consciousness, in this analogy, observes and experiences the decisions made by the unconscious processes within the brain. It is a passive observer, not an active participant in the decision-making process. It doesn't dictate the actions, it merely witnesses them. This realization can be quite profound, as it suggests that many of our actions are initiated by unconscious processes before we become aware of them. This separation between the decision-making machinery and the conscious observer challenges our intuitive understanding of how our minds work. We often believe that we are in full control of our actions, but this analogy reveals a more complex reality. The readiness potential in this context can be compared to the internal workings of the computer, processing data and preparing actions before they are displayed on the monitor. These preparatory processes are crucial for the smooth functioning of both the computer and the brain. The conscious mind, like the user observing the monitor, becomes aware of these actions only after they have been initiated by the brain's unconscious processes. This also raises the intriguing possibility that the brain's unconscious processes are just an indifferent organic AI, which, by passing results to the consciousness or monitor, which changes them to the first person, so giving us the illusion of sentience. This analogy, while simplistic, provides a powerful framework for understanding the complex interplay between consciousness and the unconscious mind. It helps us appreciate the sophisticated nature of our brain's operations, but also raises the possibility that underneath it all is an indifferent, very sophisticated AI driving everything. By viewing our brain as a highly advanced computer, we can begin to unravel the mysteries of human cognition and the intricate dance between our conscious and unconscious selves. This perspective not only enhances our understanding of the mind, but also opens up new avenues for exploring the depths of human thought and behavior.